Shut up, Simon.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? What the hell is going on? Shit, we back another week. I'm back, and y'all are back. So shit, we back, and we back. You feel me? It's been a good week, man. I really appreciate y'all pulling up once again. This is Shut Up Simon. For y'all who didn't know what y'all was tuning into, if you happen to just press shuffle or just goddamn say, "Hey Siri, play me something fly." But yeah, this is Shut Up Simon. Last week had a very important episode. The reception was promising. I was nervous to have been so transparent, to have been so upfront with motherfuckers, but it paid off, bruh. I feel better. Shit, I feel better about putting it out there. I feel better about how people received it. Either way, bruh, I had to be straight regardless of how I was going to be when I put that shit out, because I ain't had no control over how I was going to go anyway. This week, though, my boy, Dave Hamilton, pulls up. Fellow comedian, fellow DIYer. My boy, he be having shows at his crib. He just dropped a comedy album from Dave's Comedy Cave. Y'all go check that shit out. It's on all streaming platforms. I had a good ass time, bro. Honestly, this is no knock to my previous guests, but I had some of the most fun. This was probably my funnest interview. It was jokes most of the time. Right in the middle of it, my boy Dave hit me with the crazy ass Judge Mathis impersonation. A crazy ass James Baldwin impersonation, bro. We talked about AI. We talked about comedy. We get into a conversation about patriotism as a black person. You know what I'm saying? Dave was someone who served in the military and attributes a lot of his experience as a black man in America to that. I'm going to let him tell it, because honestly, that ain't my experience to speak on, but it was definitely interesting for him to speak on it and share that shit with us. So one of the most interesting things I found out during this interview is just how fresh of a comedian Dave is. And when I say fresh, I don't mean like a damn piece of fruit. I mean fresh as in just the sense that he's been doing this shit for 2 years and is as fucking comfortable and as cadenced and technical as his stuff was. I thought he had been doing it for much longer and shit, bro. I thought he was an OG in the game. I thought my boy was well seasoned, like a Thanksgiving turkey. You feel me? Either way, my boy dropped jewels. He gonna have you cracking up the whole time, bro. I guarantee y'all it's gonna be one y'all will enjoy. Sit back, relax, goddamn. If you're standing up, walking, continue doing what you're doing. Just enjoy it. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much for the intro, man. This is me. I'm just Dave Hamilton. Y'all enjoy. I'm out this bitch.
Shut up, Simon.
So
we're talking about the misdirect.
Misdirect here, which I take as a compliment for show, because my whole shit gone in the middle.
Gotta give bruhs compliments.
I feel you.
So you got a double misdirect.
Yeah. I could pull it over, cover it up.
God, first of all, you don't understand. That is like, it's one of the things, like, I ain't never wanted to be a white person, but you covet the ability to have a comb over. There's so many white people that we watch in like movies and things that we kind of give them the sense of a full head of hair.
Bruh, you like know what's funny, dog? I one time in my early days, dog, I wanted to comb over so bad, bro. I relaxed my shit.
Yeah. Was it Duke or was it just not just for men? What's that shit?
I can't even tell you. It's some beauty supply shit.
Okay, but it was. Like
it might have been the S curl shit. It was. It was a.
But
perm.
it had a guy on it. But it had like a guy with a straight hair. Your name said like that '90s R&B guy. Like, you should go ahead and do it. That's what the box said.
Yeah, dog. And I had a whole comb over and shit. I might have a picture of that hoe. That's gonna be the thumbnail for this.
You gotta
episode.
keep it. You got like we in this like society now where like you should. You know how before you be like, oh my God, get rid of that picture. I can't believe you have that picture.
Yeah.
It's just like, make sure you have it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't nobody else have a picture of you, baby naked.
You
need your
I be
own.
thinking, later on, bro, it's finna be so many damn pictures in the world, bro. People ain't gonna be able to escape
it's too much
shit,
content.
bro. It's
like,
too much, bro.
We're maxed out. We never, like, I could relive my whole life, my whole childhood, if I go to my mom's house and look through 3 or 4 photo albums.
Yeah.
That's my whole life. That's all that I need to know about my life. My dad's not in any of these pictures. Everything was a little off-brand, and but we made it. Boom.
Yeah.
But now we know, like, we take 1,000 pictures in like one sitting so I can get the right
we know
angle.
And most of these pictures are just pointless.
We're never going to use them. They're not going to be our headshot.
They're not going to be a reason we remember something.
Nah.
Like, I go back home, I look at pictures, and like, I remember I used to be a pretty decent athlete. I look at photos, I'm like, damn, I used to be nice. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna
Reminisce a little bit.
You feel me? Feel good about myself, bro. But I ain't about to look at some picture from the Cheesecake Factory from 2017 and be like, oh man, that was the day that I got dumped.
Yo, it's crazy.
Cause it wasn't.
That's it.
And
And then iPhone reminds you, hey, you haven't looked back at this day in a while. Is there a reason?
And we think that white people are just obsessed with memory or
Uh-huh.
just like with history and shit. iPhone too, bro. AI,
AI? Oh yeah, AI.
They obsessed with just
okay, but here's
information.
the crazy thing about when you think about. So you just mentioned white people. You mentioned AI. So I just add these things on, it's like, so like the drugs that get tested, like
This nigga's
just
finna
programs
blow my
that people
mind.
make. They base them on studies of white people.
Right.
So like some drugs are like, this works in 3 out of 4 patients, but it's like, did you test 3 out of 4 black patients as well? So we can know that that actually only works in 1 and 2. So they understand the difference. in risk.
Right.
So what if what is being described as artificial intelligence is that they've made machines think like white people? And could you imagine if a machine thought super like a white person? Because Siri's racist. What's that shit at home? Alexa be racist. Like, they be like, I don't know what you're saying. It's like, you know what I'm saying. You know what my lips is like this. They were born like this. You know what I'm saying. You can hear that French bitch. But so they, like, we've talked about the, like, kind of the even AI racistness and what it, like, started to suggest people and, like, Google and things like that. So it's this weird, somehow technology is racist, or are they just building brains based on white people?
Yeah, it's just developers that are racist.
Yeah.
It's the developers that are racist.
Yeah.
But they making the technology racist. And if you make the technology racist, what's fucked up about that is the technology is just going to do what it's programmed to do.
That's it.
You can't even, like, we
Excuse
hope.
me, black man, please pull over. I am a uniform driving car. I am programmed. You look like, yep, he fits the description.
He gets out the car and it's Judge Mathis. And then nigga going,
You must be a crackhead. You look like a crack. What you say? A crackhead. First of all, Judge Mathis, start screening your guests. If they all are crackheads, maybe we gotta understand this.
out of all the Judge shows, which one you fuck with the most?
Yo, I fuck with Judge Mathis, but I fuck with Judge Judy.
Oh,
I fuck with
God,
Judge Mathis. The Judge Mathis, again, just looks exhausted. He do have a lot of crackheads. And then I realized
Judge
Mathis
Judy just
is
mean, bruh.
No, she's not. She just get to the point. Y'all, like, we like these shows because on Judge Mathis, he'll ask them about their crack. Doing crack has nothing to do with the case in Judge Judy's case.
Judge Mathis, his deliveries are just so written well, bro. I remember one time, dog, Judge Mathis said, "Oh, you don't do the coke, you just like to smell it."
That's not. When you pause, that's not a well-written line.
Man.
That is your Uncle Tony at a
Man,
barbecue.
you know what and
he
you know
is
how
a mix between your grandma, who's a little racist, but it's okay because she's black, and your Uncle Tony, who say stuff that's sometimes inappropriate. And not just imagine me saying stuff, and I'm like, is he talking about she a good-looking lady? Is he sizing her up? You know, because you remind me of my daughters. I'm like, is it also inappropriate?
Yeah, he is. He do give me
get
the
a
uncle
little-
vibe,
he
but
get
he
too
give me that. He
personal.
give me that successful black uncle vibe.
He do. He give you the uncle to show up with the, like,
The bread. He got the Mercedes, but it's
he
like
got the
an
Mercedes
05.
05, or he show up with a Cadillac. It's
Yeah,
still
but it's
a year behind, but it's an Escalade.
Yeah.
It's the 14, but you know they ain't changed the model.
And he a
auto.
small claims lawyer.
You know, I'm a lawyer. You know, I wear suits, so you know he used to wear a suit well. He showed up with kind of like the linen-y suit at the barbecue. Like,
He got a post on the bench, on the bus bench. He got an ab on the back of the bus bench.
right, with his big cheesy smile. This like, come on with your petty problems. I'll take you to Judge Mathis' court. So like that's Judge Mathis. And Judge Judy is a New York. She's like a person waiting for a cab, or she's like a bus driver. And her question is not, what was your day like, and how do you feel on this bus, and whether you like the temperature or not. Where are you going? I'll
See?
get you there. And I saw Judge, and I love Judge Judy be like, shh. I don't want to know what happened when you moved in. On July 31st, did you pay the rent? No. And you stayed the next month? Great. And you didn't move. Bam. So tell me why you shouldn't pay this man. That's it.
Yeah.
No. And they're like, what do you want? No, I don't care about your mother. Your mother has cancer. As I'm sorry to hear that. I don't care. I don't care.
But that's what makes court fun to go to. Court is so boring. To sit through court, the best part about court, especially if you in there for a ticket, you in there with people who maybe goddamn was found fucking in a building. And now they gotta explain their case to the judge.
Hey,
And that exchange,
I just ran the light. I'll pay this ticket because I'm feeling entertained. They was fucking.
right? Yeah,
Right.
They in there. They just got caught fucking in an abandoned house. The judge asking, "So what were y'all doing?" This is where I had to sit up. Like, oh shit, like, they ain't even called me yet, but I'm interested.
Okay. Can I get the transcript of this when y'all are finished? Yeah, I'm gonna read myself all the way home. No, but see, here's the thing. This is where we keep blurring these lines between, because maybe we are living in a simulation. We keep blurring these lines between reality and reality because the court shows make it look like what small claims court looks like in reality, but in reality it ain't that.
It definitely is.
It ain't that. And it's like,
anybody
motion,
who's been
do you
to
get
court,
this?
yeah.
Can I review this? Let me see. Move papers around. I'm going to award this to blah, blah,
That's
blah.
it.
Next, your kids are getting divorced. Great. Like, it's just this boring machine. You wait. You're really confused because, like, you don't know when you're supposed to go up. And, like, do you say your honor, graceness? Like,
right.
You're confused.
How do you plead like a motherfucker?
Whereas, like, we're doing these things called reality TV, like Love and Hip Hop. And I've been on these sets, and they're like, okay, we're going to do another take. And it's like, I'm not saying they give them the lines for what to say, but like, we're going to do another take where you are emotionally reacting to something that you just learned, but you just learned it. Let me just get another angle. We're going to do another take. And then that's what we call reality. So then you look at court and you're like, then you start comparing the fake reality, and then you're splitting that reality to say which one is reality. Is Judge Mathis more like keeping it real, or is Judge Judy more like keeping it real? Or what about Judge Karen when her wigs are blonde? And it's like, it becomes this thing but I'm saying we've done this transfer where your world in the alternate reality or another reality almost has more value than the world you live in right now.
Yes. So on another episode of this shit, and I'm probably gonna run this subject to the fucking ground because I'm also probably gonna talk about this shit tomorrow with a motherfucker. But
Talk your shit every day you want.
But
every day.
Right now,
every
dog,
day.
we're in a time, bro, where the disconnect to the actual world is becoming so bizarre. At the same time, the connection to a virtual world, like people's virtual existence, their concern for their own virtual existence and the time and attention they put into that shit is mind blowing. Yeah, you would think, well, this is what I thought at first. You would think that is the actual world. This is the actual world. But because people are so connected to it, it is. It is.
Yeah. It's self-manifest. It's self-manifest. It created we did it. So James Baldwin has this quote that he's talking about race, but to not take that part, it says you have to look at your life. You have to be willing to look at your life, be responsible for it, then begin to change it. And it's like we talk about these things like racism and isms and phobias and the madness of your Instagram account being more valuable than your existence and breathing in real space. But we talk about them from someone else's, like we never are accepting of it.
Yeah.
So it's this thing of taking the responsibility and then actually changing it.
Yes.
So how many people can unplug? I'm doing this experiment. I'm trying. I've taken the Instagram app off my phone. So that's why it took me a while to respond to your message.
Word.
But I took the app off my phone. We're day 3.
How you feel?
I feel calmer and like more focused on. I have like 2 or 3 things that I had to do, and granted, the last couple of weeks I haven't had other things to do, but I always found myself like this is what I do as a filler. It was my
Yeah.
If I didn't know what to do, if I didn't know what channel I was about to change it, I mean just go to Instagram and just
Scroll
get
through a little bit,
couple scrolls in, a couple laps in, and it's like I couldn't think of anything else that I would do that I should be doing, writing, reading, with the same diligence.
Yeah.
So I'm never like, all right, there's a commercial. Let me read James Baldwin.
Word.
Oh, there's a commercial.
During the commercials. That's what they're supposed to read. During the commercials.
Right. I know they're
Bruh.
trying to sell me stuff, but
I would
and I
finish-
know that's the most important part of the show is the stuff you're selling.
Yeah, so let me just, if I could do anything beyond that part.
And that's why the fake world is real. And you really look at, they sold us into our own slavery. So if Kanye's a broken clock could be right twice a day. And he said, we are the new slaves. He didn't say y'all. He wasn't separating himself. He built this new slave center that kind of, I forgot who said it, but somebody said if it's too big to fail, I think Bernie Sanders was saying it actually, if it's too big to fail, then it's too big. So we've created this loop where things like Facebook, like for some people, their whole businesses they've created thrive on Facebook, but Facebook is this free optional site that does other stuff with the rest of it. The exchanges, you can be here for free. People see it very hard to live a life without actually having Facebook. Like, I'm older, so I remember when there was things like Black Planet and MySpace.
Yeah, I remember Black Planet.
Black Planet, yo. Listen, black people always do it first.
Bro, I was saying, bro. There was Tagged and
Swag.
Bebo and shit.
Yo, you could change. You had a love section, so you could find, like, actually do dating within the site. You had a messenger service within the site.
Yeah, my
You could
sister had a Black
pages.
Planet. I was like, girl, you bad.
They actually added a job section, so you could actually use job search. They were creating this thing, and it's so
resource.
Definitely before MySpace, and then MySpace was truncated. It didn't have all those resources.
Yeah.
Started this music thing, but this really came people having pages.
Yeah.
We get to Facebook, but as soon as people started, I thought I asked this question about Instagram: is there any person that has 1 million followers that doesn't sell something?
Comedians.
I'll give you that, but I'll even go as far as, I'll comedians who don't actually promote a product or something on their with their likeness. Damn, I guess maybe I'm too limiting, but no, for somebody who doesn't get commercial value off their likeness. Like, is there a person who's just, I'm a really nice friend, and 1 million people like when I post pictures of me being nice to my nice friends, and I don't intentionally show my Nike logo, and I don't.
No, because right now, dog, I've been trying to find equivalents. So 1 million followers in this virtual space is the equivalent to $1 million. And now you can, establish some level of platform to build some sort of.
Yeah,
some sort of conglomerate off of, or some sort of establishment off of.
Oh, what?
That's like,
I love that,
and that's how people kind of leverage that shit. They just like, look, it's just like if I'm coming to you as a partner with $1 million.
It's shares.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, hell yeah, I'm
1 million shares strong.
Yeah,
literally shares.
Yeah, literally, because
I'm 1 million shares strong. So you want to get on this shares thing? Give me a little bit of this.
It's the same shit.
Give me this. But I'm just curious. I just want to know: are we human enough to say this is a nice person? Because I think we might come across 1 million people in real life. Like in real life, from moving, traveling, you think you might have crossed 1 million people yet? We live in New York. There's 8. Think about this. We live in New York. There's 8 million people here.
Do I think I've walked across 1 million people?
You don't think you passed 8 million people?
I done passed 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, I done passed 1 million through my whole life. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay. If I get 1 million followers, there's a really strong chance, a high percentage chance that I have something that's within your 100 years worth of thing. Your lifetime value of.
I feel what you're saying. Yeah. We wish, but that's why the virtual world is so appealing, because I don't have to, if that was the case in the real world, what we would have to do is have had an exchange, at least an exchange with 1 million people. In the virtual shit, I don't have to do that.
You don't. Like, and it's
I could just come across their profile and feel like, I fuck with this.
That's it. I'm with it. You see 1 or 2 things you like, I'm with it. You don't know at the bottom it says I'm a racist and a rapist. But you know at the top, I'm with it. Okay. So Let me ask this question. Oh man, I almost lost it. I think I might have lost it.
Shut up, Simon.
Would you ever do a comedy album?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I have grandiose ideas. And I love music so much. I'll airplay the fuck out of things because.
Do you play any instruments at all?
All of them in the air. I could move around a teeny bit on the piano, and I've messed around a little bit with electric bass. Like I'll fuck up a tambourine. I love to be that.
No.
People at church, I'm like, that's a skill.
Yeah, they be killing that shit.
I'm like, this is not red. That's where that came from. Michael Jackson couldn't hear that, so he just saw it. Do you remember? And they was always talking about something back-timey in church, so I think that's
everything is connected to the church or slavery.
Everything. Church or slavery.
Or black people in some, both. And
church is slavery, what? Sometimes, I mean, how you use it, how it can be used. So these questions, I've been doing it for about, I think about 2 years now.
Really?
I think about 2 years now. I think I want to say that.
Were you always like
consistently doing things? No. Oh, I think I.
Or just in the arts, like were you always like, or not, or just in the space of like theater acting?
Oh no, man! Like I'm trying to zip through it, but I had like a crazy journey. So like in high school.
Yeah, bro. Let's talk about that shit, bro. Yeah.
Right here. High schoolish. So it's always like a little.
You're from New York.
I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I'm originally from Delaware. Yes. First state to ratify the Constitution. That's our claim to fame. Right below, we just like and you never were like excited to tell people you're from Wilmington, Delaware. People are like, "What's a Delaware?" I don't have maps. So I would just tell people I live outside of Philly.
Word.
You know, I mean, you live outside of Philly. You know, 45 minutes, but outside of Philly.
Oh, that's how close it is, bro. Up here in the Northeast, dog.
It's crazy because you could be 45 minutes from the Bronx, but you still live in New York City.
Yeah. Or you could be 45 minutes from the Bronx and live in Pennsylvania.
Right. I'm gonna go to Poconos. Like you can just do that.
Yeah, bro.
Closer than we think. But originally from Wilmington, Delaware. Grew up a little smart kid. Did well in school and those kind of things. Kind of around high school, I was singing on chorus, so I could like read kind of sheet music. Concert choir.
Shout out to all my music readers. I was in the marching band and
boom,
shit.
We got to listen. We all kinds of literary.
Quarter note, 8 note.
Hey,
you know
listen, we got you, Nick Cannon. We know what it is to be a little nervous. Bam. So in high school, I'm doing the musical things. I got to write my school's Black History program, my 10th grade year, like write and direct it.
Was it a black school?
It wasn't a black school.
Word.
Yeah. I went to like a good old mixed school, poor white people and black people.
Word, okay.
And but we never saw ourselves as like poor or anything. We just knew that we were all a part of this like interracial school system. Like we didn't get the interracialness about it like the way our parents was like, we're just going here because we're black. But you start to realize like by the time you get to like 6th, 8th grade, you're like, oh, so they send the white kids to, because they alternate. I got 3 years I bused to school, 3 years I was able to walk to my school, and 3 years I bused to school when you pick your high school, or some number like that. And so, but whenever the schools I could walk to, it was like all the like black people could walk to school, and then all the white kids got off of school buses.
Word.
So that looked like the white kids from the movie. So I'm like, because white kids are always getting off school buses, but you never see like. So you go the other way. They frown upon those here in New York. They're like a cheese bus. I'm like, nigga, that's a school bus. Yeah. All right? That bus, I learned. I had a lot of emotions.
You feel me?
That radio on the bus.
Bro, that bus, bro. As a kid, that's where you got. That's like the anxiety that exists before going into school. That's where you dealt with that shit, bro.
Or you might be that person to write the dick on the back of the seats. It's always somebody. There's always dicks on the back of school bus seats, or somebody would just cut it open. Somebody was like, "I fucking
people would just cut that shit.
That's why I start putting you in assigned seats and like, who did this? This is your seat, James. You know, niggas named James. They was always getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Their parents wanted well for them, but it was like, I fucking hate calling James. Call me James.
Jamie. Call me Jamie.
Call me Jamie. I'm a thug. It's too white. So I went to a school where I was always on this borderline of like having to be too white, but not too white. I don't know what white is. White means like I read the letters the way the teacher told me to read them. Oh, that nigga, he go to the school and do the things they do when they get off the bus. You know what you look like. Also, so for me, the segregation was clear in a way I guess I just am realizing in this moment. the buses, like our actual journeys were different. I would be on a bus with all black people going to an environment that mixes us.
Word.
White people would be on a bus with all white people. Come to an environment. But like we never had the same journey. So even how their bus driver might like
smile.
Beep, 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 we're waiting for you. Like our bus driver, if you ain't at the bus stop, our bus driver has somewhere to go. It's like you drive the bus for us. Where are you in a rush? Where are you going? We're not in the car yet. Just wait. You know we're a little late because we're black. And then when she late, she be like,
yeah, man. Remember when the bus? You be waiting on the bus now.
And you have to wait at least an hour. They tell you to wait at least an hour,
bro,
because sometimes
and then you show up to school like you late, but then they like, yeah, we get it. We got the announcement.
We heard the announcement.
I wonder what you tell the school when you the bus driver.
Traffic.
Well, you couldn't get away with that shit these days, boy. These days, you be...
Because they have a GPS monitoring. Basically, school is an Uber now, Uber bus. Uber bus. The principal, like, let me send these niggas out. Let me get these niggas out. A school pool. Let me get them a school pool. A school pool XL or just a school pool?
Just the XL, nigga.
School pool XL, right. But not school pool black.
So I was in a program where on a certain day of the week we got bused to another school, and we had to take a short bus to that school. And so we pull up to the school on the short bus, and people knew, you know what I'm saying, me and the group to get off the short bus. So then when they'd be chopping, they'd be like, "Well, y'all on that bus?" And I'm like, "Dawg, we just coming from another school," which is hard to explain. Kids who only relate to short bus.
Right. Like it's stigma. It's in our head.
Yeah.
It's like in our head. Like, should they either stop making those buses, or should they make those buses
a different color?
Or no, not just a different color, to make people use them for other things.
Yeah, bro.
Like the police, instead of having like those vans that look like kind of cool and sleek, get those niggas short buses.
Yeah.
Get them short buses. Nope, you ride around your little fucking short bus.
Shit, that's it, bro.
Politicians, all they can campaign in is short buses. That's the campaign finance reform. Just includes short buses. Like, no, we ain't get no long ass tour buses like you Drake, nigga. You not Drake. You not Drake. You ain't sell 14, 15, 18 million albums. You ain't nobody but a person running for president to run in his little bus. And then it'll equalize it. So, because now when we see a little bus, we're like, you feel like,
oh shit, he could be running for president.
Right.
He could be on his way to a parade.
And be special. And if you were special, if you needed that bus for the limited amount of people for that other reason we know it for, and you ran for president, you already be comfortable.
Shut up, Simon.
So here's the part where I knew what I was going to say earlier. Or we always been living in a virtual reality? Because if you believe in things like the spiritual plane, and whether it be an ancestry kind of way or a Jesus biblical, some kind of religious view, like there is this sense that there is a virtual world that you're working toward.
Yeah.
So I said to say maybe we've always been enthralled with this idea of living in a world that we're not in, and somebody has quantified it into an Instagram or a Facebook. They were like, let's fold in what people already do, live in fake worlds and realities. Let's just get money. Let's monetize it.
Everyone who when we preach this connection, the spiritual connection, it's like we talk about something beyond what we live in right now. And that's something people been on, bro, forever.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue the first cave drawings about gods or stars was the first post.
Oh, see, this nigga getting crazy.
How many likes? How many likes does the Pyramid of Egypt have? Nah. How many likes do the Easter Island heads have?
Bro, how many likes do the King Tut drawings have?
How many likes? How many likes Christianity got over Islam? How many likes? How many likes? What y'all at? Because they always be like, it's a religion about 1.3 billion. With Christianity, like somebody's always, y'all ain't got no city.
So then, dog, eventually, this shit won't even fucking matter at all.
But have you ever seen Ready Player One?
Nah.
Okay. So it's the book, and I hear people like the book much more. But Steven Spielberg, in my opinion, makes a really good movie there. He makes like really like sometimes movies are too picture so perfect
Yeah.
that I'm like, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
I hate this. Look at he got perfect ass Tom Hanks and perfect ass Meryl Streep being perfect in this perfect picture period about 1970, perfectly told. Hate it. I hate it. I need the camera to jiggle or something.
Everything Tom Hanks in is perfect.
It'd be perfect. And it's like this man he just became a Greek citizen. That's perfect. It's a perfect thing to do. He's like, run, run, Forrest, run, get out of America. If you can get, you've seen Handmaid's Tales. The last folks got to go to Canada. So if you don't like Canada, you need to go to where you already want to go. And Puerto Rico don't count. It's still here. Damn, too many tangents. Oh, and Ready Player One. Bam.
Yeah.
Good. Goddamn, I love when we find your way back. So Ready, I almost lost everybody talking about I almost lost it. I never lost it. I almost lost it. Ready Player One. In Ready Player One, the only thing that mattered was when you logged in. Like you spent all you gonna do whatever stupid job you gotta do, but it's all about logging in to play the game.
That's it.
It was just play the game. So any money that you made in the real world, you bought a new bodysuit so you can feel the impact, so you can move quicker in the game. Like every money you fix your rig up, but when they showed you what the real world looked like, everybody basically lived in trailer homes on top of trailer homes. Like everyone lives in this slum thing. So it's the same way that we're walking around here with $1,000 phones. But like that's sometimes more than like 1/3 of people's rent.
Yeah, bro.
Like in New York, you can't you could actually find a place to live for the price of that phone. Okay, that's residual. But I'm saying in general, we have these $1,000 devices, but we don't really do $1,000 things on them. Some of us go out and make movies. Some of us are podcasts and creating content, doing an effective thing. But you also could do it probably with the next model down or whatever.
Yeah.
But I took Instagram off my phone, and it's kind of like, what else do I use my phone for?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna text some few people, but
Yeah, now it's just like shit.
Shit.
But dog, when you
the screen crack, damn, I didn't even notice that. When you have Instagram, you don't notice nothing. You're just like, scroll. Your fan is bleeding.
Yeah, you don't even give a fuck.
Shut up, Simon.
So, been doing it for 2 years.
I in the space.
Do you write your shit down in a notebook?
Yeah, so bam, what we were talking about 45 minutes ago. 2 years kind of off and on the first year. So nothing like I'm going to Mike's. It was very much like I did it. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. I can't. I did it. It wasn't bad, but I can never do it again.
Right.
So that was the first year of doing that. And I was supposed to take you through a quick thing in my life, but I just answered the damn questions. I write both physically and on my phone. I don't actually enjoy typing on my computer.
Right.
I don't know why that. Maybe the phone is mobile, so I know what it is. You know, because you learn how to type with a feeling.
Yeah.
Like when you start having relationships and you start doing work through a thing, you're like you start sending feelings.
It's an extension of yourself.
Like, per my last email is your most professional. Excuse me, you know, and then you also know how to like ... You know when a good ... is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? So you know how to text with those things. So when I write down an idea, sometimes, you know, very rarely is it like a fully fleshed out joke.
Word.
And in my opinion, a fully fleshed out joke is something that gives you its setup and premise and punchline or incongruent observation.
Word.
Because you're like, all right, here's some base reality. Here's what I understand to be the point or truth of this. Here's something I should consider. And then here's something that doesn't match what I should have considered.
Word.
Some people do it stunningly. I think Rodney Dangerfield is like this master one-line guy. Like,
I love a good one-liner.
He can, but he's like, like all in one. Where it's like you have some people who do this like narrative, where they kind of almost ramble on like a short story.
Yeah.
And the good ones, you just learn how to cut the fat. But either way, I'm like, who am I to comment? This nigga been doing comedy for 2 years and now he's fucking Siskel and Ebert. Well, let me tell you about the truth of Chappelle's Pryor-esque comedy. It's very from the school of Pryor. If I may say bicentennial nigga specifically. But so I write physically.
Right.
I think there's something. It's crazy because there's gonna be generations behind us who never write physically. Like that's a mind blowing concept. Is that there will be generations who don't really get the value of physical writing, whether it's brain stimulation or coordination, dexterity. Either way, there's this translation that happens when you write that. Maybe it flows. It flows differently. Yeah. And so I might start with an idea over here, and then I might write it out so I can like map it out or challenge some things or list some things, and then like, oh, that's funnier than what I started with. And that's been a process. Writing. I'm not a machine like Jerry Seinfeld, and where he writes every day. And in part, I think that comes with discipline as well as a mindset. And for some people, they treat their art and whatever skill they have, they hold to really rigid systems, and they're disciplined in doing that, and they find value in its discipline. I'm trying this, and then some people, I want to be able to. I admire the artists who try to tap into whatever the core of why they're doing it. Not just so much that they can do it well, but like I only want to tap it when it's like this is it. I have to, this moment and this album, these songs, these are the 4 songs I'm putting out. Sade, 10 years, 10 years, I'll never come back. Word. Like when Lauryn Hill says, I couldn't leave my house until like my spirit was ready. It's like, bet can't wait to watch the show. Yeah, when the artist shows up as a spirit versus the disciplined machine product. Like, it's amazing to watch Beyonce perform. Like the Beehive's like, this nigga's done before he started. I love Beyonce.
I love Beyonce. Yeah, I'm gonna just come and
no, 1,000%. Like Homecoming is like, I can't wait to watch the thing on Disney. But my only thing was, I could tell you that a tear is gonna come out in Halo. Like she's so good at what she does that she's on cue. So she does it in, like when they did the I Am Yours tour and they cut up the footage from all over the world. Yeah. But it's like knowing how to hit your mark every single time, all the time, at perfection, right note, in sync with whatever audio is happening, nonstop for 20 plus years. That you become Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, there's this machine kind of thing, and then there is something like that I enjoy about D'Angelo's. Like, this ain't this. I don't want to make that. I want to make this record. And if it just sound like mumbling to y'all, then that's what I wanted. Like Prince, fucking idol.
Yeah, you love Prince, bro.
I walked in to listen to some Prince, not the right Prince for the mood, but in general. But every mood is, and like I love that Prince is like, any mood that I want to be is the right mood. That's how we move. Like, yeah, my mood is high heel boots. That's the right mood. Are you with it or not? And Abalone hops on the motorcycle. Are you with it or not? Like, and he gave people that option. And I feel like we were talking about getting dressed and how you think so much about what somebody else is thinking. You've taken the responsibility of making all these options and opinions for other people. If I'm worried about whether you're gonna like what I have on or not, I've taken away you having to give me your response.
Yeah, you
like if I'm like, you probably hate what I have. You're like, yeah, I hate what you have. Like, it's
you've relinquished all control that you have in any say so you have and how you feel about your own fit.
Right. So go back to just only worrying about how you feel. This makes me feel comfortable. I like this. I like the way this color looks today. Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like a gray day. Right. But a bright gray, not a dark gray. And with a little bit of logo, but not a lot of logo. Like, that's how I felt. So, versus, like, damn, should I be like, do I match his hype? Do I match his hype? Like, yo.
Yeah. Because
do I need legacy? Do I need legacy? Do I need vintage? Or do I need, like, unreleased? But we do that. We do that. I forgot what I was linking it to.
That was a hell of a point that you made, though. We can get into
keep writing. So I kind of I almost have like what I think are like surges writing. So there's like some days was like, oh, I like this. I like these are ideas. These are real thought starters. I like this. As opposed to some days where I try to sit down and say I've dedicated 1 hour to writing something. I'm like, and maybe I'll use the hour sometimes to go backwards. But I've also learned as a new comedian, I don't know if it's the rule for everybody, so I won't say it's the rule. What I've done is like, I learned that your 5 minutes are your key to wherever you're going.
5 minutes.
So getting a good 5 minute set.
Yeah.
It's the key to auditions and all these kind of different things. So it's like testing and learning which of your core which jokes work. You can write new jokes every single day, but like it's one thing to like, did this joke work in Delaware? Did this work in Maryland? Did this work in Atlanta? Did this work in Philly? And you watch some of the best, the machines, even when Chris Rock did that, it actually gave that insight. But you go to all in the way comedians work clubs before they go to do shows. Yeah, is because they're testing the thing. So instead of me trying to David, I don't know if it's right or lazy, but I want to. If I know that these 3 jokes are kind of becoming strong, and the more I do them, they'll get stronger. Yeah. Then I'm almost more concerned trying to build these next 2 minutes as opposed to like getting 20 pages of material. Word. Because sometimes we get caught up in our head like, oh, they might have heard that joke before. But the truth is, it depends on which room you in. But you tell your joke. Do your art. Perform your thing. How many people see Hamilton like 8 times? Yeah. People with money, so they were like, I'll sit behind the pole. It's okay. But I waited till it was on Disney Plus, and I used somebody else's Disney Plus password.
Hamilton's on Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
What?
Alexander Hamilton. First of all, I knew the soundtrack before.
I ain't know that. My girl got Disney Plus at her crib.
That's it. That's it. You be in there and be like, I'm learned and I'm classic. I went to Broadway. I saw it. You be like, nah, I saw it was on Broadway. All the black people see it first. Right. Oh, so I do it when I have this surge. And for me, it is like, how do I get really comfortable in a thing I've done? Because I've had kind of a history of doing things well and moving on. Yeah. And maybe that'll be a short segue to my past. I did the music and the theater and the dance. So I was also like a classically trained ballet modern dancer. I did that for like this portion of time to like toward the end of high school. After high school, I go to the Army. Go to the Army. I'm a scout. Ultimately, we become a part of a sniper team. We're in Iraq.
What was that? This will be helpful, bro, because I've had conversations with people who look at people who join the military and equate that to people joining the police force. And either way, it's still just. I just know more people who were in the military and understand, like, for some people, there was just other reasons than just, like, I want to go abroad and impose this imperial American system on foreign countries and shit.
We on so many levels, even when it benefits us, it doesn't benefit us when we generalize or make any assumptions about any person's choice, whether they be somebody you agree with, conservative, liberal, whatever the case is. When we surmise for them or generalize it, it fails. So I don't look at all cops, even so I've protested, I've led some demonstrations over the last like couple weeks and whatnot. But I definitely wasn't one of the people screaming at cops to quit their job. And I don't think all cops are terrible people. And I don't think all cops intentionally intentionally perpetuate a system that we definitely don't agree with. But it's in the same, sometimes I think there's also the grace to know that we also do it in all of our various ways. Like we perpetuate slavery, modern day slavery, just with the purchase of our technology. Yeah. Like a slave is making your phone. Yeah. Like right now in China, they are capturing Muslim people, Muslim Chinese people, putting them in re-education camps. So for everybody who was really outraged about, some entertainers' comments and missteps, actual concentration camps exist in the modern world right now, and they're making our face mask for us. I'm biting some of this from watching in last week tonight. But I've been following John Oliver.
Oh, word.
Love the writing on that show.
That's
a very bright show.
Martin.
But I've been watching because
That's HBO.
I know Muslims, yeah. But I've been watching this for a while. This has been the case for some time now. This has been more than a year's worth of at least coverage that there are over 1 million people in camps and then being forced to go work where they need them to work. So the only reason the story came back was at least focused in this news because they were pointing out that some of the people making actual more masks coming, like some of the Nike had to apologize because one of their plants had slaves at them. Slaves. So like slaves might have made some of the last drops.
What?
Like today. So like you're not intentionally trying to put them in slavery. You just wanted a new pair of sneakers. So some people do go get the job as a police officer because in their heads they could make they could be different. We always say be the change. Like we say all these lofty things and then when people do it, it don't always come out perfect. So like there are some cops who I talked to a few brothers on the force and they were like, that's the niggas we know right in this room with us that are racist. Like being racist is not illegal. But yes, they do things like punish people if they come out, whatever. But if I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't let anything that y'all have seen happen in front of me. So there aren't these black cops who are like, yeah, well, if they say it, then I'll do it. Like there are people who feel that way. So me as a person in the military, same thing. This is my country. This is my country. Like I get everybody who can find their like roots to like, oh, I'm actually West Indian and I come from this island, that island. You can celebrate that. I'm American. Like James Baldwin was saying, one of the most terrible things, in fact, is that I am American, My frame of reference is George Washington and John Wayne, but it's all I know. I was a child. And when you're a child, you have to use...
killing that shit.
Because you're shaped. So, for me, I watched 9/11 happen. And I'm granted from a distance. I'm in Delaware, but I'm watching it through TV. And you got to understand, TV's before the internet was the most powerful medium there is. Yeah. So it shows me. So I'm cutting my teeth as an adult, or I'm about to leave high school, or whatever the case is, and the place that I call home is under attack. And you can, and I've always been a person that like, if you're gonna talk about it, if there's a problem, then do it. The street's dirty. Let's fucking I'll sweep it. But I'm not gonna keep saying why is the street always dirty. So like my country's under attack. I don't really have all that money for college. They give me some college money, but like, yo, the way this news channel just showed me, like I might need to just go help out. Let me go help out because I watched it keep showing that plane. That's crazy, man. I had to go home and you have your own trauma because I remember them let us go home early for school. Right. In hindsight, I'm like, ain't nobody fucking bombing no school in Wilmington, Delaware. Like the targets they picked were pretty big and they missed a lot of other big. Like they didn't have other big targets. So it's like, niggas, y'all could finish today. Yeah. We already had 2 half days this year.
That's what my mama would have said. They let y'all ass out of school again.
And everybody in big buildings I was like, nigga, we have 10 stories max.
Yeah.
10 stories. The plane would have just broke itself before it got here. Not to make light of 9/11, but it did have that impact and it shaped me. And I signed up before I was even finished high school to be in the military. But I also understood that it was some financial relief to my mom and her expectations of college, because college was always on the plan. But it also was I got to live a little fantasy. I grew up watching G.I. Joe. So going back to these things, like you're influenced by things. So me watching G.I. Joe kind of made me think things. And so I always wanted to be like a little James Bondy spy, let me just slide down here on the rope. And that's what I got. That was the MOS I got to, the job I got assigned, like thing I did in the military. I was a scout. So like you wasn't supposed to know I existed. Like I'm the nigga that's like,
okay, this nigga day.
You got a Little Caesar pizza and a bottle of soda. You can shoot him in his face right now. Like I'm that guy. Like that's our expectation as a scout. It's supposed to be there. You're supposed to not know we're there. You're supposed to know everything about you, or
like a spy.
Also, not a spy, but we're also part of the cavalry. So like the old movies, like send it in the cavalry.
Yeah,
niggas across there were cavalry. And you have these. So it is this interesting thing you do go through as a black soldier because some of this tradition is rooted kind of like anti-you. Like I don't know if I really like because it's prestigious to get a saber.
Yeah.
And to get
it's a sword.
Yeah. like a little cowboy army sword, and your spurs, the little thing you kick the horses.
Oh,
I got
y'all niggas
gold
was some
spurs.
cowboys for real.
So right, because that's and a what you call that shit? Not a fedora.
I know what you're talking about, the full brim joint. Though.
Yeah, but the cowboy looking hat. You get like those kind of things. You're like, and some white gloves and a little yellow handkerchief. Nigga, you scouts out. When I see you in the street, when I see you in the street, yo, scouts out. But then you think about some of those things, and they're kind of rooted in this tradition of like, oh yeah, they came from that war about us. I don't know how I feel about. And these was you honored the other side too.
Damn.
Oh, they get statues? I thought they lost. That's crazy. And we're gonna name where I go do my training at after the people who was trying to kill me. That's weird. And this tactic you learn that we're doing, it's based on the time y'all was killing us. Oh, it's kind of... So you do these complexities, and then there are the people who are like, yeah, fuck America. I fucking bleed America. Fucking... And then I ran into people... It's this culture shock. Because I grew up in mixed race groups of people and all kinds of things I've seen in my life. Not so much as New York, but definitely variety. I get to basic training, and there's this kid who's never seen a black person in real life. Like in his real, like not other than like a TV screen. So his impression is now impressed by this media source. Yeah. Like it's crazy how so much of our life is not really our life. So he only knows what he knows about black people. And our interaction is one of those ones where like people are like, don't touch my hair. And they get really upset. Yeah. But it was the real life. I wasn't like it was real like, yo, I fucking don't, you're black. So you just breathe the same way. Nigga, you breathe the same way? Oh.
You don't got gills under that beard?
What? You're not a rapper? Oh my God. You can't text Jay-Z? Obama, at least. Everyone has Obama's number.
Shut up, Simon.